cavalry horse with the speed of light, a cloud of dust, and a hearty hi-yo silver. The Lone Ranger.
Hi-yo silver! Away!
With his faithful Indian companion Tonto, the daring and resourceful masked rider of the plains led the fight for law and order in the early West. Return with us now to those thrilling days of yesteryear. The Lone Ranger rides again.
Kemo Sabe.
What's the matter, Tonto?
Me see Cash Nasby back in town.
Cash Nasby? I didn't know he was out of prison.
Me see him on Main Street of Jarvis, but him not act like fugitive.
He must have received time off for good behavior.
Him free now to rob and kill again.
With his record of crime, I doubt whether 2 years in prison has reformed him. We'd better keep an eye on him.
When him leave Jarvis, me follow far enough to pick up trail.
Good. Let's try to find out what he's up to. Come on.
Sabe, look like Cash meet other riders here.
2 sets of prints.
2 riders. Them wait for Cash here.
After he arrived, all 3 of them rode off toward Bartonville. They must be planning a holdup. Come on. Looks bad, Tonto.
Me all right. You go after robber.
Not until I've taken care of you first. You're a lucky man, Tonto. If that bullet had been a fraction of an inch to the right, it would have killed you.
That plenty close call.
How do you feel?
Me fine. We go after robbers now?
No, Tonto. It'll be dark soon. We'll try to pick up their trail in the morning. Your head must still hurt you. Here, take this. Go on now. Chew it up.
And last of medicine. Already we use up last of bandages.
We'll pick up some more in the town of Jarvis. I noticed this morning that a doctor lives on the outskirts of town. We'll stop there and replenish our supplies.
That's a good idea.
Tonto, you sure you're able to ride? You better wait here with Silver and Scout.
Me wait.
Dr. Doyle?
You're masked.
I'm not an outlaw. I work on the side of the law.
What do you want?
I'd like to buy bandage, gauze, medicine, and antiseptic.
Well, I do sell a complete kit for $3.
That's fine. Thank you.
I'll make one up. I think you'll find that quite complete.
Thank you. Here's your money. Dr. Doyle, isn't that a silver bullet?
Well, I thought it was silver.
Did Did you take it from a man's right arm?
Why do you ask?
Because I believe it's the bullet I fired at one of the men who robbed the Bartonville bank today.
You fire silver bullets?
That's right. Will you tell me where I can find that wounded man?
Well, I'm afraid that would be unethical.
Unethical? Doctor, a great many people have invested in that bank. If their money isn't recovered, they'll be ruined. Is it ethical to let that happen?
Who are you?
People call me the Lone Ranger.
Oh, yes. I've heard of you. Well, I'd like to help, but I'll have to think it over.
What's there to think over, Doctor? It's your duty as a citizen to help capture criminals.
I know where my duty lies.
And all I ask is that you listen to your conscience. I'll be back tomorrow night for your answer.
Very well. I will have made a decision by then.
I'll see you at the same time tomorrow evening, Dr. Doyle. Adios.
We go now? What's wrong, Kemo Sabe?
I want to see what's going on around here, Tonto. Let's get out of sight.
Dad,
I thought I told you to go to bed.
that masked outlaw was looking for me, wasn't he?
What makes you think so?
I saw him from the window when he rode up. He's the bank robber who shot me.
Howard, are you sure that's what happened?
Well, what do you mean?
Have you told me the truth, son?
Of course, Dad. I was standing near the bank when the robbers came out shooting. That masked man was one of them. He fired the bullet that hit me.
He claims he's the Lone Ranger.
That's not
And
true.
the bullet I took out of your arm was silver.
Well, anyone can make a silver bullet.
Oh, son, I wish I could believe your story, but...
If you were my real father, you'd believe me.
Maybe I am your stepfather, but I've been the only father you've had since you were 6.
Yet you take the word of that masked bandit against mine.
I didn't say that. Howard, son, I've taken care of you ever since your mother died. I've tried to be patient with you. I've tried to...
You never cared anything about me, and you know it. You cut off my allowance. You never let me...
I cut off your allowance because you've been gambling.
Dad, don't tell that masked man about me. He's after me because he knows I can identify him.
If he's a thief, son, you should go to the sheriff.
If I did, the other members of the masked man's gang would kill me.
Yes, I never thought of that.
When they catch the whole lot of them, I'll go to court and identify him. I promise, Dad.
All right, son. I'm not sure it's right, but, well, we'll do it your way.
Thanks, Dad.
Now, you go to bed and rest your arm.
Good night.
Good night, son.
Tonto,
Yes, Kemo Sabe.
someone came out of the house. He's going into the barn.
You think him same man who stand in hall with gun?
That's what I want to find out.
Him have arm in sling.
He's our man, all right.
Him not much man, him look more like boy. We follow him?
Yes, maybe he'll lead us to the robber's hideout.
Me see Cash Nasby come out of that place this morning.
Find out where he goes. I'll wait here.
Oh, it's you.
I've got to see you right away, Tuck.
Come on in.
Boy go to side door, knock 3 times. Man let him in.
Did you recognize the man?
No, but boy call him Tuck.
And that fits. Nasby used to work for a gambler named Tuck Hanna.
We go tell Sheriff?
Now, we'll wait. I want to talk with this young fellow.
Now, wait a minute, kid. Are you sure your old man believed the story you told him?
I think so.
Why didn't you shoot the masked man when you saw him from the window?
I can't shoot straight with my left arm, Cash.
At least you could have followed him, found out where he's camped.
I couldn't leave the house till Dad was asleep.
You yeller.
But at least I didn't weasel out of the holdup this afternoon like you did.
I couldn't ride on account of my back, and you know it.
Shut up. Both of you. Boss, this Lone Ranger sent me to prison once before. I think we ought to clear out.
He jailed me once, too, but it was pure luck.
Well, he's been lucky once too often to suit me.
With that bank money hidden in the mountains, he hasn't anything on us.
Well, what if Doyle tells the kid when he comes back into town tomorrow night?
When that masked man shows up tomorrow night, we'll be waiting for him.
You mean we ambush him?
Yeah. We're gonna use the kid's house.
No!
What's eating you?
I took part in this holdup because you agreed to tear up my gambling IOUs, but I'm not getting mixed up in a murder.
You're in this whether you like it or not.
I'm not going to. Oh, you're breaking my arm.
I'll break worse than that if you don't string along with us.
Please, I'll do what you say.
That's better. And if you try any kind of a double cross, we'll come after you and your old man. Now listen, all of you. Tomorrow afternoon, I'll get Doc Doyle out of the house. As soon as he's gone, the kid's gonna let you in. Then you hide. And when it's dark and the masked man shows up...
Here he comes now. You know what to do.
Hold it! The masked man.
Get down and don't try anything.
What are you gonna do?
That depends on how truthfully you answer my questions. What's your name?
Howard Doyle?
The doctor's son?
His stepson. Please, mister,
You're one of the gang who robbed the Bartonville Bank, aren't you?
Well,
Why did you do it, Howard?
Why don't you leave me alone? You have no right to question me like this. Leave me alone. Leave me alone!
Howard, don't you know that if you committed that robbery, you'll never be entirely free from questions again? Perhaps they'll come from the law, or perhaps they'll come from men like me. But worst of all, they'll come from your own conscience. You'll never be able to escape them.
Maybe I've found that out already, mister.
Why did you rob that bank, Howard?
I had to. It was the only way I could pay off my gambling debts without Dad finding out. I didn't know what else to do.
Why you not try to face things like man instead of...
You don't know Dad. He'd never have forgiven me.
Do you think he'd be more apt to forgive you now that you're a thief?
I've made a mess of everything.
Who robbed bank with you?
I can't tell you that.
Are you afraid to tell, Howard?
Maybe other men threaten to do you harm if you not do as them say.
No.
Was Cash Nasby one of the men?
How did you know that?
Maybe Tuck Hanna, other man.
Please, mister. You don't know what you're getting me into. They'll kill Dad and me both.
Let me tell you a secret, Howard. Crooks like Tuck Hanna and Cash Nasby always rule through fear. So long as people won't stand up against them, they'll go on winning.
I can't stop them.
Can't you? Your testimony against them, together with the evidence of the stolen money, will put them behind bars for 20 years.
Stolen money. I couldn't produce that even if I wanted to.
Why not?
I don't know where it is. That's the truth. I heard Tuck say they buried it somewhere in the mountains, but that's all he told me.
What do you think, Kemo Sabe?
We could turn them over to the sheriff, but unless they told us where the money is hidden, we might never find it.
Oh, that right.
Of course, Howard might be able to get the information out of them.
What do you mean?
Well, I'm to meet your father tomorrow night. Now, would you be willing to contact Hannah between now and then and find out where the stolen money is hidden? And then meet Tonto and me at your father's home?
You mean you'd let me go free until then?
That's right.
All right, I'll do it.
Good. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Yes.
Adios.
Mister, I can't do it. I thought I could, but they're planning to kill you. I went to warn Hannah and Nasby that you were on their trail. They've decided to ambush you when you come to see Dad tomorrow night.
Why are you telling me this?
I may be a thief, but I don't want anyone murdered.
Even if it meant that you might have gone free?
Even if it meant that.
I see. Howard, do you really want to help undo some of the wrong you've done?
If I only could.
Let's have a talk with your father.
No!
He'll have to know eventually.
I couldn't face him.
Son, I think you underestimate your father. Come on.
I can't believe it. What did I do wrong?
Nothing, Dad. This isn't your fault.
Yes, it is, son. I brought you up. But where did I go wrong?
Now, that's hard to say, sir. Perhaps because you weren't Howard's real father, you felt unsure of yourself. So you let him have his own way too much. Then, when he didn't live up to your expectations, you were too strict.
Whenever Dad punished me, I deserved it.
Were you honest enough to think so at the time, Howard?
No, I guess not. Now that it's too late, I realize a lot of things
It isn't too late, son. We'll face this together.
You mean you'll stand by me?
Of course. Will he have to go to prison?
Well, that'll be up to the jury, Doctor. But if through his help we capture the outlaws and recover the stolen money, I'm sure they'll take that into consideration.
Well, what do you want us to do?
Well, Tonto's bedding the horses down in your barn. If you'll permit us, we'd like to spend the night.
Of course. There's some extra beds in the next room.
Good. We'll stay hidden, and then when the outlaws arrive, we'll have a surprise for them. It's Tuck Hanna.
I didn't think he'd come himself.
Come on, into the back room.
Hello, Doc. You'll have to come right away. One of my dealers is sick.
What's the matter with him?
I don't know. Some sort of a fit. I didn't think he should be moved.
I'll get my bag. He says one of his dealers is sick.
Don't go with him. He's a killer. And if he gets suspicious, he wouldn't hesitate
I'll be
to...
all right, son.
We'd better not take any chances. Do you have a gun?
Yes, but it's upstairs.
Take one of mine.
Thanks.
Good luck.
Let's go.
If anything happens to Dad, I'll never forgive myself.
Tuck has no reason to suspect anything. Tonto, tie Howard in this chair.
Well, so far, so good.
How's he going to keep the doc away such a long time? Not him getting suspicious.
Well, for one thing, the buggy's rigged to break down the way into town. Come on.
Come in.
What's going on here?
I couldn't help it. He had a gun on me. They sneaked in the minute Dad left, and...
You not talk.
What kind of a stunt is this?
All right, you two, in those chairs. Tonto, tie them up.
What's this all about?
When I was here last night, I noticed the shadow of a man in the hall. I purposely let him hear me, make a date to return. You two walked right into the trap.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about.
You came here to kill me.
Why should we? We got nothing against you.
You will have.
What do you mean by that?
You're going to tell me where you hid the stolen money from the Bartonville Bank. Then we're turning you two over to the sheriff.
Of all the rotten luck. Give me a hand, will you, Doc?
Certainly.
Since when you started carrying a gun, Doc?
Oh, I often carry one.
Pretty fancy shooting iron for you to be toting around.
Well, it was given to me.
Seems like I've seen this before. Who gave it to you?
A friend?
Yeah. He shoots silver bullets and wears a mask, doesn't he?
I don't understand.
I do. You're in on some kind of a double cross.
We'll give you one more chance. Where's the money?
You're wasting your time, Ranger.
Gag them, Tonto. We'll take the boy first.
What are you gonna do?
We're going to make you talk.
I don't know where it is. Honest, I don't.
Don't lie to me.
Don't hit me again, please. I don't know where the money is. You've got to...
Boy, talk soon. You wait.
You gonna talk?
I don't know anything, honest. They didn't tell me.
Oh!
He's being obstinate. You'd better take over, Tonto.
Me glad to. Let's make him talk. Hold his head, Kemo Sabe.
That's enough ketchup.
You tell where money hidden.
I don't know, I tell you. I never...
That wasn't such a good idea, Tonto. He's fainted.
Then we question other crooks.
All right. Help me with this one. Which one will it be?
This one looked like good talker.
No, I'll talk. I'll tell you everything. But just keep that engine away from me.
Where's the money?
It's buried under an oak tree at the entrance to Granite Pass. A green-looking stone marks the exact spot.
I hope you told the truth. I'll stay here, Tonto, while you go for the money.
Let me ride to Granite Pass.
Seem like an unnecessary precaution, but you've said all I want to hear. We'll sit and wait for Tonto to come back with the money.
Put your hands up. If you're waiting for Tonto, you have a long wait.
What'd you do to him?
I knocked him out. But I'll fix him good as soon as I've taken care of you. Put your gun on the table.
The law will catch up with you.
You let me worry about the law.
Where's my father?
He's not hurt bad. He'll be all right.
It better be. As soon as we tie him, I'll find Tonto and your father.
Well, I suppose this is goodbye, and I must say, when you take on a job, you really make a clean sweep of it. You not only capture the bank robbers or cover the stolen money, but you even managed to help straighten the two of us out.
I'm afraid Howard will still have to stand trial.
Well, Sheriff Hasten is sure he'll get a light sentence because he helped capture the others.
He didn't even make us put up bail.
Well, Howard, I'm glad things turned out so well. Goodbye, son.
Goodbye, sir. I'll never be able to thank you.
Don't thank me. Just be a good son and a good citizen.
And I'll try and be a better father. Goodbye, Tonto.
Adios.
Adios. I wish there were more men like those two.
So do I, Dad. Why couldn't they have stayed a little longer?
They have work to do, son. As long as there's cruelty and injustice and dishonesty in the world, there's work for men like Tonto and the Lone Ranger.
I'll silver! Hey! The Lone Ranger. A fiery horse with the speed of light, a cloud of dust, and a hearty Hi-Yo Silver. The Lone Ranger. Hi-Yo Silver! Away! With his faithful Indian companion Tonto, the daring and resourceful masked rider of the plains led the fight for law and order in the early West. Return with us now to those thrilling days of yesteryear. The Lone Ranger rides again.
On the maps of southwestern America, the desert that stretched for 90 miles north of Las Cruces was called Jornada del Muerto, which in English means the journey of the dead man. And this may have been the reason for the name. It all began on an April day as an army courier rode through Apache country toward the fort at San Marcial.
Makenga!
He's wounded badly, Tonto.
Me go after men who shot him?
Oh, we'll go after them later. Right now, this fellow needs our attention. We'll get him over there in the shade. You get some bandages from the saddlebag. He's coming around, Tonto.
Here, canteen, Kemo Sabe.
Mask. Now, you take it easy, soldier. We're here to help you. That's enough.
Thanks.
Have you any idea why this attack was made on you?
No. Not unless they wanted to rob me. There's nothing strange about Apaches attacking a white man.
True, but the Apaches in this territory belong to the Mescalero tribe. And Chief Lazito has signed a peace treaty with the government.
Maybe them not Mescalero Apaches, Kemo Sabe.
They were Mescaleros, all right. I remember. I thought at the time their leader could have been a white man. His skin was lighter than it should have been.
Did you notice anything else about him?
Yeah, he had a scar. A half-moon-shaped scar on his left cheek.
Crazy Wolf.
Yes, Tonto. It looks as though we may be close to catching up with him at last.
You men know him?
Him renegade. White outlaw who lived with Apaches for many years. At one time, him lieutenant to Geronimo.
You see, the Apaches gave him the name of Crazy Wolf when they adopted him into the tribe. His real name is Cantrell. After he left Geronimo, he went to Kansas. When the law closed in on him there, he disappeared. I might have guessed he'd seek refuge with the Apaches again.
Maybe we can get after him.
Young fellow, you're in no condition to go after anybody.
I feel fine. I'm just a little weak.
Kemo Sabe.
I think he'll be all right, Tonto. He may be unconscious for some time. You'd better take him back to the fort. Then I'll... Soldier, Tonto. Holster your gun.
All right, what's going on here?
We're glad you came by, Lieutenant.
I bet you're glad. Drop your guns.
You not understand.
No?
Courier was shot by a band of Apaches. We bandaged his wound.
You bandaged him? What's the idea of the mask?
I have good reason for keeping my identity hidden. Perhaps your commanding officer at the fort, Colonel Rice, has spoken of...
Colonel Rice has been recalled to Washington. Major Trask is in command at San Marcial.
Unfortunately, I'm not acquainted with Major Trask.
You'll have a chance to meet him soon enough. Pick up the soldier.
Lieutenant, it's absolutely essential I speak with the chief of the Mescaleros at once.
Maybe so, mister, but I have my orders. The rule book says we're to bring in all suspicious characters for questioning.
Someday, Lieutenant, you'll probably learn that past orders don't always cover new situations. The good officer is one who can also make decisions for himself.
Pick him up.
Ready, Tonto?
Be ready, Kemo Sabe.
Get a rope, Tonto, and tie his hands, but not too tightly.
I won't forget this, mister.
You tie hands.
You'll be able to work yourself free in a few minutes, Lieutenant. Then you can take the courier back to the fort. And now, if you'll excuse us.
Camp of Lucito only short distance away, Kemo Sabe.
Yes, Tonto. I can't understand why we haven't met any of his lookout.
Kemo Sabe, that Juan, grandson of Lucito.
Greetings, Juan. We've traveled many miles. We wish to see Lazito.
Lazito not well. You go back now.
To turn friends away who come in peace is unworthy of a mescalero. Distrust rests only in the false heart, like that of Crazy Wolf.
Crazy Wolf, my friend. Crazy Wolf, great warrior. You go back.
I'm also your friend, Juan. A better one, I think, than Crazy Wolf. And I don't believe the grandson of Lazito would shoot a friend in the back. Tonto?
Lemka. Luzito.
My friends.
Greetings, Luzito.
Many moons passed since last meeting with Masked Man and Tonto.
I hope they've been peaceful moons for you, Luzito.
Mescaleros no longer go on warpath. Signed treaty with white man.
And yet a white soldier was shot today. By Mescaleros.
Shot? Me not believe. Masked friend make mistake.
There was no mistake. The attack was made by 2 of your braves, and it was led by Crazy Wolf. Does Crazy Wolf ride with your tribe now?
Why you ask that question?
Because Crazy Wolf is a dangerous man. A man who could turn your braves into thieves and murderers like himself. And because he is a white man, he must be taken back to face white man's justice.
Taken back by you, mister?
By me, Cantrell.
No. Crazy Wolf white by birth. Apache by choice. Apache not go to white man's court.
And where does that leave you, mister?
Sholeto. Masked Man and Tonto my friends. While Luzito chief, them not be harmed. Luzito old. Sick. Want see all men be friends. All men.
Kemo Sabe. Look like him have fever.
How long have you had this illness, Luzito?
Many days. Fire in stomach, fire in head.
He'll be better soon. I've been giving him special medicine. Apache medicine.
In the town of Las Cruces, past the desert, there is a hospital. Go to the doctors there.
Las Cruces far away.
If you need help to get there, ask for it at the fort.
Don't listen to him, Luzito. If you go to the fort, you'll be jailed. If you go to the hospital, you'll be killed.
Me not know. Luzito wants sleep. Luzito tired.
We'll be leaving now, Luzito. But I ask you to remember what I've said. Come on, Tonto.
No doubt we'll meet again, mister.
No doubt at all, Cantrell. Well, Tonto, at least we aren't being followed.
What we do, Kemo Sabe? Luzito not give Crazy Wolf to us, and if Luzito die...
The important thing at the moment is to see that the men at the fort treat Luzito right if he decides to go there. Perhaps you'd better ride to San Marshal. Try to arrange an appointment with Major Trask for me. I'll meet you at camp.
You think Major Trask fair man?
I hope so, Tonto. I certainly hope so.
Lieutenant, I still do not understand. Never in my years of service have I had an officer of mine overcome by having dirt thrown in his face.
It won't happen again, Major Trask. Incidentally, sir, I sent the courier on to the hospital in Las Cruces as you ordered.
Huh.
I hope his dispatch doesn't contain bad news.
Bad enough, Lieutenant. I've been requested to report personally to the commanding general of Santa Fe. With Captain Casey and Captain Gething on maneuvers, you will be the senior officer here.
Me, sir, but I...
Well, see who it is.
Yes, sir.
And order a horse saddle for me.
Yes, sir. You!
We want to talk to Major Trask.
Major, this is the Indian I was telling you about. The one with the masked man.
Well, I'll be.
Major Trask, masked friend want to talk to you.
Don't tell me he's going to drop in, too.
If he does, sir, I'd like the personal pleasure of putting him in irons.
You certainly have my permission to do that, Lieutenant. In the meantime, put this fellow in the guardhouse.
You let me explain. Masked man want to tell you about Mescalero Chief.
No one has to tell me anything about the Mescaleros. I'll deal with you and your friend when I return from Santa Fe. Take him away, Lieutenant. Yes? Oh, Lieutenant. Is my horse saddled yet?
Yes, sir, but...
But what?
Well, sir, there are 2 more Indians to see you.
2 more? What is this, a trading post?
The oldest one, sir, wants a wagon to take him across the desert to Las Cruces.
You're joking.
No, sir.
All right. Send him in.
Well, as a matter of fact, Major, that one, the oldest one, isn't feeling too well. He's in the stockade, sitting against the wall.
And what's the other one doing, Lieutenant? Playing cards with a cook?
No, sir. He's out in the hall.
Get him in here.
Yes, sir. Come in.
Well, now, what's all this about a wagon?
Me sorry, Major. Me good Indian. Not want make trouble.
All right. Get on with it.
My friend. Him drink much firewater. Him...
You mean he's drunk?
Me come with him here. Think maybe soldier put him in jail for a while, so him not get hurt.
Why do these things have to happen to me? We'll put him in jail, all right. Lieutenant, take care of it. Well, what are you waiting for?
Me go.
I'll be back in 2 or 3 days. And when I return, I want to see everything exactly the same as when I left.
Yes, sir.
Lucito. Lieutenant, wait.
Major Trask's orders, Indian.
But you don't understand. Wait.
Masked man say we get help here. Him not tell truth. Masked man die. All white soldiers, settlers die.
My friend come here soon. Look for me. Him help you then.
Not come. Crazy wolf on way to Indian camp. Call all tribes to war.
By nightfall, the throb of Apache war drums had started, and even Tonto had begun to despair. Then suddenly,
Kemo Sabe.
Tonto, what went wrong?
Lieutenant we meet on range recognized me. Major Trask not let me explain.
I don't like the sound of those drums.
Them call Apaches together. Mescaleros come get Lucito.
Lucito here? In the guardhouse?
Him very sick. Unconscious now.
We must get him out of here at once.
Kemo Sabe. Lieutenant come.
Don't move, mister. Well, the guard told me you thought he heard someone out here.
Lieutenant, I wonder if you realize the danger you're in. You hear those drums? They signify a declaration of war against this fort and every settler in the territory.
Why should the Apaches want to make war?
Because you have the chief of the Mescaleros locked up.
You mean the old Indian who came here this afternoon?
Lucito thought the white soldiers would take him to the hospital in Las Cruces.
I did ask for a wagon. The Indian with him said he was drunk.
Drunk? He's a very sick man. He may be dying. I'd better see him at once.
Now, wait a minute.
The man may be dying, Lieutenant.
Give me your keys and return to your post.
What do you think, Kemo Sabe?
The heartbeat and breathing are far below normal. I believe you'll be all right. Lieutenant, we'll need a wagon and horses. Tonto and I will take him to Las Cruces ourselves.
I can't allow that, mister. Major Trask left definite orders.
It's your decision, Lieutenant. It must be. But let me remind you once again. The good officer is one who can adapt himself to new situations without the aid of a rule book.
What if I let you go? I'll be court-martialed.
And if you keep us here, hundreds of men and women will be killed by the Mescaleros.
Kemo Sabe, drums stop.
That means they'll be on their way soon. Well, Lieutenant?
I'll arrange to have a wagon made ready immediately.
Thank you.
But if the war party comes, who's to stop the Apaches from attacking the fort?
You are?
Me?
When the Indians arrive, you're to ride out by yourself, with your hand raised.
A sign of peace.
They won't do anything until they have heard what you have to say. Tell them you apologize on behalf of all the white soldiers, and their chief is on his way to Las Cruces.
But they'll come after you.
Let them?
Right. Good luck.
Same to you, Lieutenant. Give me a hand, Tonto.
Soon afterward, the start across the desert was made. By dawn, over half the distance to Las Cruces had been covered. But as the sun rose higher, it finally became necessary to stop at one of the rare desert water holes.
Any change in the chief, Tonto?
No.
We'll rest here.
Kemo Sabe, me think mescaleros come. Me hear horses, maybe 3 or 4.
Well, there's nothing to do but to wait here for them.
Where is Zito?
He's in the wagon.
I did what you suggested. These two said they'd come after you to make sure that Lozito was alive. The rest have the fort surrounded, but they promised to wait until the young fellow there reports back to them.
Lozito dead?
No, Juan.
Lozito died at fort.
All right, if that's what you want to believe. He's dead. But the doctors at Las Cruces, they make great magic. They can bring your grandfather back to life.
Juan, the doctors have no magic.
Do you want to lose your grandfather, Juan?
No.
Then give me the chance to prove I'm telling the truth. Las Cruces is just a few miles away. Let me take Lozito on to the hospital there.
You take him. Juan and Crazy Wolf make camp here. We keep Tonto with us. We wait for message from you. If Lozito do not come back to life, Tonto die first. Then all white soldiers at the fort.
I'll be back with good news before sundown. Let's go, Lieutenant.
It's been a long fight, but he'll recover.
Had he been poisoned?
Oh, you knew about that.
I had my suspicions.
Actually, he's a very lucky man. This poison was evidently administered in small doses over a long period of time. Consequently, he's developed a certain immunity.
So Crazy Wolf defeated himself.
Well, if you'll excuse me.
Certainly. It'll be dark soon. I'd better return at once to Juan with the news about Lozito.
I'll stay here with the old man.
Good.
I hope Tonto's all right.
Yes, so do I.
You sleep long time. Sun go down soon. Me think Lozito not come back to life.
Where Crazy Wolf?
Me not know. Think maybe him take trail that go to hospital.
Kemo Sabe come back along same trail. Maybe Crazy Wolf try to kill him.
You not move.
Crazy Wolf, dangerous man, Juan.
Him my friend.
Now you walk up trail ahead of me. We go find Crazy Wolf. Listen.
So you wanted to kill me before I could reach Juan with the news that Lozito was out of danger?
Maybe.
We'd learned he'd been poisoned. Was that your work?
Well, what if it was, mister?
You were a fool, Cantrell. Even if you succeeded in killing Lozito, the Mescaleros would have never made you their chief.
I didn't want to be chief.
That pinhead Juan would have done anything I wanted him to. Maybe he will yet.
He will? Let's find out. Tonto? Juan?
What?
You tried to kill Luzito?
Mister! No one. He must be taken back to white man's court.
They kill him?
He'll probably be hanged.
You take.
Let's go, Cantrell.
I'm not sure I understand it all yet. You say the Apaches were about to declare war while I was away?
That's right, Major. And I can assure you that Lieutenant Wilson had a great deal to do with averting that war.
Well, evidently, you saved me from making a terrible mistake, Lieutenant. Perhaps captain's bars would serve as partial repayment?
Thank you, sir.
Major, I'm glad to hear you admit that your haste in dealing with Chief Luzito was wrong. Not only must the Indians learn to deal fairly with the settlers, but we in return must learn to be fair and honest with them.
I'll do my best from now on.
I know you will, sir. And now that the Mescaleros have returned home, and Cantrell has been returned to Kansas for trial, it's time Tonto and I were on our way.
You make journey of dead man?
Yes, Juan, I think so. Adios.
The journey of the dead man? What's that?
That what Indians call desert now. Them say Luzito dead when masked man take him to Las Cruces.
Well.
Me not know. But me know this. Luzito die. Many men die. Except for help of Lone Ranger.
The Lone Ranger. A fiery horse with the speed of light, a cloud of dust, and a hearty Hi-Yo Silver. The Lone Ranger.
Hi-Yo Silver! Away!
With his faithful Indian companion Tonto, the daring and resourceful masked rider of the plains led the fight for law and order in the early West. Return with us now to those thrilling days of yesteryear. The Lone Ranger rides again.
Folks, I wonder if you'd come down here just a little closer to the counter so I won't have to... That's good, thank you very much. Friends and neighbors, Boggs Emporium on Wheels, Unit Number 1, offers the greatest collection of merchandise ever offered to the citizens of Rockville. Now, in addition, and there's an extra added inducement to each and every one of you to make a $3 purchase, you're going to have your fortunes told by the great Swami Yuganto. Swami, I wish you'd come out here and meet these good people, will you please? That's him right there, Swami Yuganto. Thank you very much, Swami. All right, friends and neighbors, now who's going to be the first customer?
Well, how much for this pick and that shovel?
That pick and that shovel, my friend, will cost you exactly $3. 6 is 15, $3.15.
I'll take them.
Good. There.
There's your $3. There's your 15 cents.
Thank you, sir. That's the right change exactly. Well, now, since you've spent more than $3, you're entitled to have your fortune told by the great Swami Yuganto.
Well, guess I got nothing to lose.
No, certainly not. Of course you haven't. You know, the great Swami Yuganto has helped people all over this world. All right, friends and neighbors, now who's going to be the next? We got a collection of stuff here that you can't pass up.
I'm Hard Rock Hazen. Feller outside said...
Be seated, please. Gaze into the crystal ball. I see much gold in the earth. You are a man who seeks such gold.
Anybody could have told that just by looking at me.
Silence. Gaze into the crystal ball. Gaze into that pinpoint of light. Let the light grow bigger and brighter and flow into your mind. You are being swept into the future, into the unknown. The light, the light. Think only of the light. Look at me. You are now in a hypnotic trance. You will do everything I say, answer every question I ask.
Yes, sir.
How much money do you have?
$25 cash.
Do you have any gold?
Lots of gold. Keep it hidden.
Where?
In my cabin. Behind the wood, under the stove.
Where is your cabin?
Near Mint Canyon.
I think that will do. When I snap my fingers, you will come out of this trance. You will not remember any of this. The crystal ball tells me you are going to make a long journey to the east, I believe.
See, that's right. Do you see anything about Matilda? That's my daughter back in St. Louis.
The crystal ball grows cloudy. I'm afraid that is all for now, Mr. Hazen.
Oh, that's too bad. But, gosh, thanks just the same. I'll be seeing you.
Get your hands up.
What's the idea?
Go get it.
But how did you know?
It's here, all right.
No, no. I'm sleeping at the...
Let's get away from here.
They were ahead of time, Tonto. Dan won't arrive until sometime this afternoon.
While you make camp, me go to town for supplies.
Well, that won't be necessary. Dan's picking up supplies when he goes through Rockville.
Oh, that's right. Me forgot.
While we're waiting, let's see how Hard Rock Hazen's getting along. His cabin isn't far from here.
Him nice old fellow.
Come on, boy. Hard Rock. Hard Rock. He's wounded.
My gold. They took my gold.
Now, take it easy. You'll be all right. Help me carry him to the bunk, and we'll look at his wound.
Easy. I've been 10 years saving up that gold.
Yes, sir, and that's a beautiful piece, ma'am. That'll cost you $1.65. Thank you very much. That's the right change. Thank you. Now, friends...
Barnaby, hello. How are you?
Hello, Dan, my boy. How are you?
Fine, Barnaby.
Good.
Say, what is all this?
This? Why, son, this is the greatest merchandising scheme since the invention of the fire sale. What do you hear from our friends, the Lone Ranger and Tonto?
Well, I'm spending my summer vacation with them, but I've been visiting a classmate.
Oh? Will you see him soon?
Yes, just as soon as I've bought supplies.
Yeah, well, give him up. Did you say supplies?
Yes, huh?
Oh, well, son, you've come to the right place. What kind of supplies do you need?
Well, I have a list here.
Lord, give it to me just as soon as I fill this out. And while I'm filling it out, I want you to meet the Swami Yaganto. He's my partner in this enterprise.
Swami who?
Swami Yaganto. Oh, an extraordinary man, son. Come on, I want you to meet him.
Look at me. You are now in a trance. You will do everything I tell you, answer every question I ask.
Yes, sir.
How much money do you have?
Not more than $8.
Do you have any gold or jewelry?
No.
What are you doing in Rockville?
Well, I'm on my way to meet friends.
What friends?
The Lone Ranger and Tonto.
Lone Ranger?
Yes, he's my...
Where are you going to meet him?
At his camp near the spring in Mint Canyon.
Is he staying there tonight?
I think so.
It's very interesting. When I snap my fingers, you will come out of this trance. You won't remember telling me a thing. Yes, I see many other honors in store for you. You will become known as...
Oh, Dan. Your supplies are ready.
Good. I mean, thank you very much. It's been most interesting.
You must come again.
Thanks.
Boss, what are you doing here? Don't worry, nobody saw me come in. I just stopped by to pick up some supplies from Boggs. When I passed the back of the tent, I thought I heard somebody in here talking about the Lone Ranger.
That's right. He's in this area.
Yeah? Well, I don't like it, boss. I had a run-in with the Lone Ranger once, and I don't want another one. Let's clear out.
Don't be a fool. You think I'm going to give up a racket as slick as this one?
What if that masked man gets interested in the jobs we've been pulling?
He won't have a chance. We'll get him before he gets us.
How?
He and the Injun are camping near the spring in Mint Canyon. They don't think anybody knows where they are. So, it'll be easy for us to get the jump on them. Let's find Dobie. I'll tell you both what I want you to do.
Thanks, Tonto. That's good.
Herbs make you sleep. You need plenty rest.
Hello, Dan.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Did you have a good trip?
Fine. How are you, Tonto?
Fine, Dan. Me take supplies.
You'll never guess who sold them to me. Barnaby Boggs.
Barnaby?
Yes, he's converted his old medicine wagon into a traveling store. He calls it Boggs Emporium on wheels. And his partner is a fortune teller named... Who's that?
He's an old friend of ours, Dan. His name is Hard Rock Hazen. He was shot and robbed last night under mysterious circumstances. I'll explain it to you while we prepare supper.
The springs are just ahead. I'll circle around and we'll hit them from both sides. You get in position and wait for my signal. Right.
There's a man over there in the bushes. He's going for his gun.
What is it? What happened?
I don't know.
Say, that's one of the varmints that robbed me.
I didn't.
You said they were masked.
They was, but I'd recognize his voice anywhere. Besides, he's wearing the same clothes.
What do you say to that?
Nothing.
You'll change your mind. Meanwhile, we'll take care of that wound. Dan, get the medical kit and bring some rope.
Sure. What'd you do with my gold?
And how did you know where it was hidden?
Why, what are you talking about?
Things might go easier for you if you tell us.
Lone Ranger, look out!
Get away. It's plenty hard to follow tracks in dark.
You're right, Tonto. Let's go back.
Did he get away?
Yes, Dan. Thank you for saving my life.
If I'd have had my gun, maybe I could have kept him from getting away.
What I can't understand is, how did they know we was here?
Dan, did you mention to anyone we were coming here?
No. Sure, nobody followed me.
Suppose you tell us everything you did the moment you got in Rockville.
I already told you. I ran into Barnaby, and he insisted I meet this Swami who told my fortune. But I didn't say anything to him either.
Hey, that fella's good. He told me I was planning to take a trip, and I was.
He told your fortune, too?
Day before yesterday. First, I figured he was a phony, but when he told me...
Just a minute, Hard Rock. The Swami told your fortune, and then that same night you were robbed.
Well, it has no connection. I didn't mention having any gold.
Maybe you did. Maybe Dan told him he was meeting us here.
But I didn't.
We'll see. Tonto, it'll be daylight soon. I want you and Dan to take this fellow to the sheriff in Rockville and explain what happened. Ask Barnaby to meet me on the outskirts of town. Hard Rock, you'll have to stay here alone. Is that all right?
Sure.
Good. Tonto, ask Barnaby to bring me the best suit of clothes he has in stock. Something my size. And warn him not to tell the Swami he's coming here.
Well, look who's here.
Howdy, Barnaby.
Hi, how are
Good
you?
to see you again.
Thank you.
Say, thanks for bringing the suit.
Oh, shucks, that's all right. I'm glad to oblige you at any time. Say, why all the secrecy?
I'll explain in a minute. Did the sheriff identify the body?
No.
I didn't think he'd be able to. Barnaby, was the traveling unit of the Emporium your idea or the Swami's?
Why, it was Uganto's idea. Why?
Had you known Uganto before?
Oh, sure. We were with the same medicine show. His real name is Steve Smith. Yeah, used to be a hypnotist.
A hypnotist? Well, that would explain everything.
It doesn't explain anything to me. Hey, what are you fellas talking about?
I believe your friend Uganto is using hypnotism to help him rob your customers.
Hypnotism? What that?
Hypnotism? Why, that's the ability to induce a sleep-like trance in which a man's mind responds to suggestion and direction.
You see, Tonto, some doctors use hypnotism to help their patients.
But why people let Uganto hypnotize them?
And they probably didn't know he was. It's impossible to hypnotize a man who's on guard or who doesn't want to be hypnotized.
Say, do you mean to tell me that you think that Steve Smith is responsible for these robberies?
Yes? Will you help us expose him?
Well, yes, I will, but I sure hope you're wrong.
Kemo Sabe, you have planned to trap Swami?
Yes, Tonto, I have. I'm going to put on the suit that Barnaby brought me and disguise my face. Then I'll take a room at the hotel and arrange for you and Dan to remain there while I...
Toby's body's at the sheriff's office. Suppose they ask me to identify him. Why should they? Nobody's ever seen you two together. Dobie was killed before he even had a chance to talk.
I only said I thought I killed him.
Suppose he says something. If he had, they'd have been after you before now. Besides...
Hey, where is everybody? I want a little service.
Wait out back.
Who's the proprietor of this preposterous establishment? Come, come. Own up to it, someone. Anyone here?
I'm sorry, sir. I was delayed.
Are you the owner of this emporium of tin pans? This haberdashery on wheels?
Well, yes, sir.
Sir, I've come to purchase a money belt.
A money belt? Oh, yes, sir.
That's right.
Excuse me. Now, there's a money belt there, sir. See, all you do is just pull these little...
My good man, I've been associated with royalty. I've wined and dined with the crown heads and bald heads of Europe. Do I impress you of being a fugitive from a poorhouse?
Why, no, sir.
Then take away that receptacle of small change and bring me something large.
You mean you want a larger money belt than this?
My friend, 4 times larger.
Well, I don't think I've got one 4 times larger. Say, how about 4 money belts?
Good idea, my friend. Good idea.
There you are, sir. There's 4 of them.
How much will that be?
$12.
There you are, Junior.
Oh, that's $20. Well, you got some change coming here.
Keep the change. Buy yourself a couple of boxes of cigars.
Oh, well, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Tell me, is this Swami fella any good in telling fortunes?
Oh, yes. Yes, he's very good.
While you're wrapping these parcels, I think I'll have a little confab with him. Perhaps he can tell me how to make another $1 million. Where will I find this Swami feller?
Why, he's in his tent over there.
Thank you, my good man. Thank you.
Yes.
Be seated, please.
Quite an impressive setup you have here, Swami. Reminds me of Bombay. Missouri, I mean.
Please. If I am to tell the future, you must concentrate on that speck of light in the crystal ball.
Crystal ball? Oh, yes, of course.
The light lies deep within the heart of the crystal. Let the light grow bigger and brighter and flow into your mind. You are being swept into the future, into the unknown. The light, think only of the light. are now in a hypnotic trance. You will do everything I say, answer every question I ask.
I will.
Who's there? How much money do you have?
More than I'll ever use.
How much money do you have on you now?
Only $300. I don't carry much unless it's necessary.
Why do you need 4 money belts?
Because I have more money in my hotel room.
Where in your room?
Room 12, second floor, back.
And where is it hidden?
It's hidden in the mattress.
Thanks. When I snap my fingers, you will come out of this trance and you won't remember any of this. I see you making much money. I see gold mines, oil wells, many profitable business ventures.
In that case, Swami, I can relax and take it easy. Anything else, Swami?
Crystal ball grows cloudy. I'm afraid that is all.
Well, thank you, Swami. Good night.
Thank you.
Yeah, see you again.
There's your package, sir. I do hope that everything is satisfactory.
Quite satisfactory.
The Swami should look into the crystal ball for his own future.
Good day, sir.
Spike! Yeah, boss. There's a get-rich-quick millionaire at the hotel, room 12.
I thought you said we were going to lie low.
This is too good to miss. He's got a fortune stuffed in his mattress.
No fooling.
Get after it.
Sure.
What are you doing?
Well, I was just...
Get inside.
Now, look, Steve, you got this all wrong. I didn't hear a word that you told me.
Look me in the eye. I want the truth. You understand? The whole truth. Now, what did you hear?
Everything.
What made you suspicious?
Well, the Lone Ranger.
Lone Ranger?
Yes.
Maybe you better tell me all about it, Barnaby.
$5.
Raise your hands. You. What are you doing here?
Tonto, get his gun. Spike Naylor. How long have you been working for Yoganto?
I don't know what you mean.
Steve Smith, alias Yoganto, was the only one who knew there was money hidden in the mattress. Dan, get the sheriff while we tie him up.
Yes, sir.
Get your hands up. You got to. That's right. Now get inside there. Don't try any tricks.
Dan, what...
Drop your guns or your friends are goner.
He was out in the hall. I didn't see him until
I said shut up. Drop your guns. Now get your hands up.
Nice going, boss. How'd you figure it out?
It was easy. I persuaded Boggs to talk.
What did you do to him?
He's in a trance. I'll decide what to do with him after I've disposed of you.
You'll not shoot us.
You don't think so?
The shots will be heard in town. You'd never get away with it.
That's a chance I'm willing to take a risk on.
You'd rather hang for murder than to go to jail for robbery?
That's about the size of it, mister.
That was real teamwork.
Thanks. I'll get the sheriff now.
Good. We'll tie them up while you're gone.
I can't tell you what it means to me to get my gold back. Now I can go back east and see Matilda.
It's a good thing Spike confessed and told us where the loot was hidden.
Confession saved a lot of trouble.
That's right, Tonto. We've recovered almost everything Yogato and his men stole, and it's been returned to its rightful owners. Goodbye, Barnaby.
Goodbye.
You keep on with that Emporium on wheels. It's a good idea, even if Yogato did think of it.
Oh, don't mention that scoundrel's name to me.
Next time you pick out a partner, you be more careful.
Yes, you can bet your life I will. Say, you don't know the good, reliable snake charmer, do you?
I'm afraid not. Goodbye, Hard Rock.
Goodbye, Lone Ranger. There goes the finest man I've ever known.
Yes, Hard Rock, a great many people, including myself, feel the same way about it. You know, Hard Rock, the West just wouldn't be the West without the Lone Ranger.
Be with the Lone Ranger and Tonto same time next week for new dangers in another thrill-packed adventure when the Lone Ranger rides again.